So I want to do this transformation of f of x right here in red, and I want to transform it into negative 2 f of x plus 1 minus 2. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to start with my parent function f of x. And I can see that I'm going to want to do a number of transformations to it. Because you remember I'm looking at y is equal to, sometimes there's a negative, a times x minus h plus k. This is the format for virtually all of our transformations. So I can see that I have a negative sign. I can see that I have an a. I can see that I have an h. And I can see that I have a k. So I'm going to be making all of the transformations here that we know on this graph. All right, so let's start. Parent function is already there. And the first place I'm going to start is with the negative sign. So I'm going to do negative f of x. So for every, if y is equal to f of x, which we are pretty comfortable with, I think, y is my f of x. If I want negative f of x, it means that my y value that I had is going to become negative. So let's do that in green. When I had right here f of negative 7, f of negative 7 equal negative 2. Right there is that green point right over here that I just made. Right. Well, that means negative f of negative 7 is equal to negative 2 or positive 2. So on this first transformation here, negative f of x, my y value at negative 7 is going to be positive 2, negative 2. Let's take a look at a different point. Instead of f of negative 7, I want to look at this point right here. Well, f of negative 3 was equal to 3. So negative f of negative 3 is going to be equal to negative 3. So my point is going to go from there down to here. What I'm doing, as you can see, is I'm reflecting my y values over the x-axis, where my y values were positive. When I put a negative sign in front of it, whoops, what happened there? Go away. I put my negative sign in front of it, right here, as well as right here in my final one. I'm just flipping everything over the x-axis. So this point here is going to go up to positive 3. And this point here, which is at 1, is going to go to negative 1. So my first transformation is going to look like this. And as you can see, the graph has pretty much just flipped itself over the x-axis. Let's take a look at the next stage of the transformation, which is the 2. So I want to now graph negative 2 times f of x. Well, I've already taken care of the negative sign in my first transformation right here by flipping it upside down. Now I'm concerned with the 2. So if negative f of, let's take our point, negative 7, right here, negative f of negative 7 is equal to positive 2. Well, excuse me here, I got to kind of move this down a little bit. Then 2 times negative f of negative 7 is going to be equal 2 times 2, which is 4. So I've taken this point, and now I'm going to stretch it up to 4 Over here, I had negative f of negative 3 was the point at negative 3. Well, 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. So all I'm doing is I'm taking my y values of each of the points that I did in my, my second transformation, the green transformation right here, and I'm doubling the y value. So here was f of 2 is positive 3. Negative f of 2 is positive 3. I'm going to double the positive 3 to 6. F of negative f of 5 was negative 1. I'm going to double it to negative 2. So now I have a graph, and I'm going to go like this. I'm going to connect. I've stretched it out. See how it's stretched out? It's the same kind of a shape as my green one, which was the negative f of x. The same basic shape, but now it's stretched out, up and down. So my last step in the transformation is going to deal with my h and k. So I'm going to take my blue graph that I've just done here, the negative 2 f of x, and I'm going to shift it to the left by 1. So my h is negative 1, and down by 2, because my k is negative 2. So every point on my graph is going to move to the left by 1 and down by 2. And I'm looking at the blue graph, right? My last transformation before this. Now I'm going to do my h and k. So I'm going to take this point right here, and I move it to the left 2 and down 1. That's my new point right there. I'm going to take this point here and move it to the left 2, down 1. That's my new point there. Over here, to the left 2 and down 1. That's my new point there. This point right here, to the left 2 and down 1. That's my new point there. So I'm going to connect those points. And if you can kind of look at that pretty mess, the red one was my parent function. The green one was flipping it upside down over the x-axis. The blue one was stretching it by 2. And the black one is shifting it left and right by my hk.